Hey, greetings everybody. GleeCon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, you saw me blunder around on a Let's Play where we did the game version of Spirits of Ashenvale or whatever it was called. Basically, we chopped down a ton of trees, which is kind of neat because in Cataclysm in Ashenvale, you can kind of see how that's still going on. Stay a while and listen as we prep for the next levels of Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos, which is called the Blood of Mannoroth. Grommash, Hellscream, and his orcs had not stumbled across the demon blood by chance, and actually in the last mission, we didn't really stumble across it at all. But they did say in the mission before, in the cutscene, like, oh, they feel like it's near. On Archimonde's orders, Mannoroth and Tichondrius had come to Kalimdor to weaken its defenses in preparation for the demon's invasion. The continent teemed with creatures who were hostile to the Legion. The demons considered most of them harmless, little more than minor annoyances, but Cenarius and the other wild gods were different. During the War of the Ancients, they had fiercely resisted the Legion. If the Legion had any hopes of reaching the second well of eternity, the demons would have to get through Cenarius and his woodland allies first. To blunt the might of the wilds, Mannoroth and Tichondrius had brought the Skull of Gul'dan to Kalimdor. The artifact had changed since falling into the Legion's hands. The demons had infused it with even more fel magic, making it far more powerful than it had been. Before. Mannoroth and Tichondrius could draw out these energies to poison Ashenvale's woodlands and weaken Cenarius. Process would be slow, but it would be effective. Okay, so looking at that real quick. Interesting. I don't remember when they got the Skull of Gul'dan. Maybe they found it when they also got the Book of Medivh. I think so. So they've been just making it more. It's just weird how powerful they're making this thing. Before the demons could begin, another opportunity presented itself: the orcs. Years had passed since the orcs had drunk Mannoroth's blood, but the curse still lingered in their veins. It bound them to the Pit Lord and made them susceptible to his influence. Mannoroth's mere presence in Ashenvale had already started affecting the orcs, particularly Grommash Hellscream and his Warsongs. Being near the Pit Lord had made them increasingly violent and aggressive. Oh yeah, and that's because that's the demon whose blood they drank, so that would be the most powerful. Their unbridled fury had drawn them into a war with Cenarius. The orcs stood no chance of winning unless they had more power. Yeah, that was annoying on the last mission. I felt like I had no chance of winning. And that was exactly what Mannoroth would give them. By drinking his blood, the orcs would become mighty enough to defeat Cenarius. They would also become slaves to the Legion once again. Mannoroth spilled his blood in the forest, and then he retreated from sight. As expected, Grommash found the pool. He suspected the dangers of drinking the blood, but he knew it was the only way his orcs would survive the battle against Cenarius. Unable to resist the temptation of power, Grommash drank deep. His followers did the same. Gross. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen in our interlude coming up. With otherworldly power surging through their bodies, the orcs rampaged across Ashenvale. Scores of night elves and forest creatures fell to their hungry blades. Grommash Hellscream himself clashed with Cenarius. The wild god fought with all his primal fury, but even he could not withstand the orc's supernatural might. Grommash's axe sank into Cenarius, and the Warsong vanquished his foe? I didn't know Cenarius was dead. I thought he was still around. At the moment of Cenarius' death, the wilds around Hyjal darkened and trembled. Dryads, chimeras, treants, and other fey creatures retreated in horror. Though some would return to aid the Night Elves, many would remain in hiding for the duration of the war. Only later did Grommash discover where the source of his new power came from. By then it was too late for the orc or his followers to resist. They were bound to Mannoroth's will. So my guess is we're going to have a cutscene showing that, and then we're going to have a tough battle where we fight Cenarius. That's my guess. And I'm guessing that it's going to be hard because they've been hard lately. This is Cenarius battling Grommash Hellscream in Ashenvale Forest. Maybe because he's a wild god, he can kind of res. I also like that he's riding a wolf, which is super cool. I don't think he does that. Unless we're going to get like Wolf Rider version of him. I don't think we will. It's a cool picture. But I really thought Cenarius was still alive. All right, so we got another episode in the pipe 5x5. And it probably sets us up for 1 to 2 more levels of Warcraft 3. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching and for listening. And I will see everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft.